show. Talking hero villains and scenes. It's for the homies, the dream team. Breaking news of the week on blast. Marvel, DC, the die is cast. Every plot twist we dissect. No stone unturned, what did you expect? For the homies, let's rewind. Time into the worlds we find. Streaming live with all the glow. Comics, movies, shows, let's go.
Hello, everybody. It's Thursday night. You know what that means. It's another exciting episode for the Homies Podcast. It's February. Happy Black History Month. And yes, he's not here. We got rid of the black man. He's in Florida representing the homies at MegaCon. Chris, love you, brother. Hope you had a safe trip. Jake, how you doing, my friend? My partner in crime.
Well, Phantom, I am doing well. Thank you so very much for asking. Hey, guys, it's me. It's your boy. It's your homie, Big Dog Jake. I have been absent the past couple of weeks due to some personal matters, but obviously Phantom, Crease have been holding it down. Shout-outs to Vagabond, shout-outs to Isaac, shout-outs to Sophie, and Ebola, of course, for holding it down for us, keeping it going. I'm happy to be here. I'm feeling pretty good today. I just got some good news in the mail, and I'm just feeling pretty all right tonight. And before I toss it back to Phantom, I do want to say that yes, happy Black History Month to everybody. No, it was not a joke. That it just so happens that the black man on our show is not here for the first episode of Black History Month. He has traveled to Florida for MegaCon. He arrived safely. And he's our social interaction person. He's the one that does all the networking. He reaches out to people. He talks to them over the phone, through email, through text, and in person. In this case, like down at MegaCon, he runs into a lot of people, talks to them there, and locks down certain guests. And so, Crease, glad you made it there safe. I hope you and the rest of the GCA, the rest of the fellowship, have a real good time down there. And we'll try not to have too much fun here without you. So, Phantom, let's see how our chat is doing.
Yeah, hell to the chat. So we got Idaho, Matt.
I do want to give a special shout out, if I may. I obviously commented first with the like the stream nerds because you should, and that was the first comment. But UK Gamer came in saying second. He said he'll try to make the stream, but he's got stuff going on at work. Mm-hmm. That was a couple hours ago. However. Comes back to saying, hey, hello, I made it. And yes, you did. And UK Gamer, we are so happy that you are here. And speaking of people that are far away, Idaho Mike saying good morning and coffee time. I hope China is still treating you well, I guess. I hope it's nice and sunny there. I hope the weather's pretty good. Wayfair coming in, dropping a 199. Hail the 199. Hail the GCA for the homies, baby. Mike saying, let's go. And I'm glad to see the chat interaction. UK Gamer shouting out to Mike saying, hail again. UK Gamer again saying we sacked the BLM DEI hire. He was not a DEI hire. He does not support BLM. He is a homie just like you and I.
The only three-letter thing that Crease supports is KFC.
Oh no, absolutely not. I will not stand for that. I will defend my friend to the death over that. You can get her again. Thank you, welcoming me back. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. I'm happy to be here. We have Clinton House here saying, hail to you, Clinton. I hope you are doing well this Thursday evening. And again, we have great interactions. Idaho Mike saying, hey, the UK Gamer saying, great to see you. And he is saying, in China, all is good there. I am glad. I'm glad all is good there. Hope you're enjoying your day. Oh, man. It's good to be back, Phantom. It really is.
Yeah, it's really good to get back. And we got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. We got a lot to talk about. So let's just hop right on into it. It's your favorite segment. It's time for the Internet News.
And make sure, before we get started on our segments, like Westward came in to say, smash the like button. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hey,
so Phantom, what do we have
first?
lined up?
So we got Gina Carano news going on.
Yes. So for you guys that are unaware, Gina Carano has been on a bit of a tear recently, you might be able to say. So Phantom, do you want to give a little background on what the Gina Carano situation is?
Okay, so we all know Gina Carano was probably the best character. She played Cara Dune in The Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Probably my favorite character in that series, and we all know that she's real good friends with Drunk 3PO, Sophie. And she got fired for tweets that she did. That they said that she was homophobic. She was
It was such a tepid tweet. Like it
it
was
was
so
retarded.
milquetoast. It was such
Mm.
the only way somebody could get offended by the tweet that
Mm.
she made was if they were looking for it. Like it
Mm.
was so surface level and milquetoast. She didn't name any names. She wasn't explicit about anything. It was so tame.
Yeah. And so she ended up getting fired from her role as Cara Dune. She was supposed to
Mhm.
be getting her own separate series on Disney
Mm-hmm.
Plus. They completely axed her. They wanted her to get into a call with a shit ton of people that were
Yeah.
pretty much going to dogpile on her.
Yeah, it was going to be a
And-
struggle session between
Yeah.
her against like 40 other people. I think it
Mhm.
would have been 36, 37 other
Mhm.
people explained to her why she was bad, which
Mhm.
come the fuck on.
And so basically, she was wrongfully terminated from her contract.
Mhm.
And, you had Pedro Pascal comparing, pretty much half the country to the funny mustache guy and people from
Yeah.
World War II
Mid-century
and, white supremacists, the whole ism stuff.
Yeah.
Then, this time last year, Elon Musk happened, and he helped Gina to start a court case against Disney.
Mhm.
And Disney tried their best to settle. They tried their best to filibuster. They tried their best to get this thrown out. But it didn't work, did it, Disney? It kind of failed, didn't it?
It didn't work at all. Gina Carano, again, with the backing, with the financial backing of Elon Musk, was like, no, I don't want to settle this. She was very explicit saying, it's not about the money. It's not about the money, Lebowski.
It's the premise.
It's
principles.
Yes, it's the principle of it all. She wanted it to go to court because she wants discovery. She wants to see what they said, and she wants to put all of that on blast. And so, after many months of Disney trying to get this thrown out, the judge was like, "No, this is moving forward." That was back in October, I believe. And so, just recently, this was again just a couple of days ago, if I may see, this was posted on January the 31st. So it was the day after our podcast last week. She says, just a little update on my lawsuit against Disney / Lucasfilm. The case continues to move forward, and I anticipate having a more substantive update in the next few weeks. We remain determined, and my team has been exceptional in honoring the court and respecting the process. I am very proud to have this team. Thank you all for your continued support. And Cara Dune, yesterday, January the 30th, touched my heart. Onward. And so she, obviously the court case is moving forward. Obviously she has some things to say, some things to share. And over the next few weeks, we'll see, maybe by the end of February, maybe before that, maybe the first week of March. I have a feeling there's going to be some
big news.
Some juicy tidbits, some big news. Yeah, absolutely.
And trust, we love Gina.
Mm-hmm.
I've respected her MMA career, her acting career.
And
She's
just look at her,
fabulous
by the
person.
way.
Yeah.
Just look at her, by the way. Like, as Cara Dune, like, absolutely phenomenal. Looks fantastic. That character deserved to get that show. And she was going to get it, too. She was going to get it. And then there was one very tepid tweet that there were some people at Disney and some people at Lucasfilm got butthurt about. And they tried to put her into a struggle session. They said that she needed to unsubscribe from people on YouTube, which we don't have that exact list.
Oh, I know some of them. It's Ryan from Archaea Post.
Ryan Kinnell, Critical Drinker.
Gary from Nerderotic, Geeks and Gamers, and Jeremy, and a lot of the people that are in this. Even I believe Jay said this. They wanted her to get rid of Jay.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, Jay Drunk 3PO is somebody that works either for or works with Gina Carano, assisting her.
He helps her out.
Certain thing helps her, like goes to conventions with her, or things like that. He's kind of like a real life producer type thing, I guess you could say. And I have a feeling that one of the substantive updates that she's inferring is, I think that they have finally, since this case has moved forward over the past few months, that they have moved on to Discovery. And I would like to think that one of the new pieces of news that will be coming out is what was a Discovery. And I have a feeling that she really wants to get the list of the people that they wanted her to unsubscribe from YouTube, unfollow on X, things like that. I have a feeling that Lucasfilm and Disney had those written down. And over the course of Discovery, we'll find that and then have those posted. So I would really, really like to see how that goes.
I mean, we know they watch us. We know they watch us. I mean, it wasn't too long ago, if everybody remembers, the end of last year, Blue Beetle had a comic book and had characters that looked like Jeremy, had looked like Ripa, had Ryan, had Gary, Drinker, multiple people in our sphere in this comic book. So they're watching us. They're watching us.
And even slightly larger than that, there was, I think it was a Captain America comic where Falcon was Captain America at the time, and Red Skull looked just like Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson. And the author and the artist gave an interview a couple of weeks after the fact, after it was released, and explicitly stated that yes, he's based off of Jordan Peterson. In fact, they ripped word for word stuff from his speeches and used it as dialogue in the comic, which is just, that's fucking wild, man. That's insane. Oh my good Lord.
And hopefully, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna try to make this promise when this shit comes out. Oh, we will have a very special homies to talk about the stuff in Discovery when it comes out. Trust and believe that.
Oh yeah, trust and believe. It might end up, depending on what comes out, it might be like a special episode. Maybe we won't even do it on a Thursday, but maybe it'll be an entire episode about it. I'm just very glad that Gina Carano stuck to her guns and said, no, this isn't about the money. This is about the principle of the matter. I want to show people what went on, what I had to go through, and as a consequence, not just what she had to go through, but what others in the industry would have had to go through. Some that might not have the financial backing or might not have the principle to stand their ground out of fear of losing work. And so this would be, I feel like even if she doesn't win the case, I feel like just getting to the point, just getting through Discovery, like that in and of itself is going to be a massive win. And honestly, I feel it could cause a major sea change in the entertainment industry as a whole.
Yeah. So some of the rumors were that Ryan Reynolds wanted her to reprise a role in Deadpool 1 and Deadpool Wolverine. And basically, Disney had her blacklisted from Disney Productions.
Yes.
We know this.
And if Disney blacklists you, then most people in Hollywood don't want to touch you.
It's good to see Gina's getting a leg up on this stuff, and
Yes.
and also you got to look at this. She's using the law in California that
Mhm.
the Democrats, Disney, and all those studios begged and pleaded for them to sign off of,
That's right.
and she's using it against them. I
That's
have to
right.
say, Gina, mad respect, mad
Oh yeah,
respect,
yeah.
Gina.
That I totally forgot that that's how all of this started. Like there
Mhm.
were so many people wanting to push through this anti-discrimination law in
Mhm.
California, and then when it came down to having this issue, she's like, you know what?
Let's lose it.
I walked onto your court and I'm playing your game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The judge is like, she's right. She's right. She's not trying to circumvent the law. She's not trying to get in on weird technicalities. No, she's following word for word what you guys pushed through. And Disney was a part because they're in Burbank in California. They were part of making sure this law got passed.
Mhm.
And what a
So that means in
honestly,
Discovery, we're gonna get emails. We're
oh
gonna get
dude,
whatever Kathleen, dude. Just to read the Kathleen Kennedy stuff is going to be internet gold. It's going to be
oh my
gold.
god, yes. Oh my god, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's so let's catch up a little bit with the chat before we move on to our next little bit here. We have a lot, my goodness. Chat has been
So
extremely active.
Nerfile said, get a chance, check your DMs, Jake.
I will take a look at that. So let's starting off from the top if we may. Let's try and burn through these a little bit. Vatlaw coming in saying Crease definitely supports ASS. I mean, I definitely support ASS. Not that I'm going to show it off, but you know, my wife is somebody that I support. Her ASS, we'll say that. UK Gamer saying we've reached my level of humor. Yes, you and Phantom are like, I mean, you guys are like this when it comes to, well, not like this. You guys are more like this when it comes to your level of humor. Regarding ASS, saying usually with both hands. If it's somebody else's, I would have to agree. I'd have to, both hands, a little bit of wavy, etc., and so forth. Ebola coming in here calling us nerds. Yeah, we're all nerds. And as you saw earlier, I took some strays because Sophie was giving us a little bit of a drive-by.
Hey, at least with Sophie giving us drive-bys, it's better than what happened to Drake on
Go.
Tuesday. We'll get into that in a little while, guys.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. Nerd Slap coming in saying, hell yeah, figgity figs.
Mm-hmm.
Hell you, Fig. I hope you're doing well. Oh, man. Yeah. Ebola mentioning how the tweet that Gina Carano put out, the initial tweet that started all this, it wasn't even offensive. Absolutely. It was so milquetoast. Again, the only way you would find it offensive is if you were some type of deranged leftist looking to get offended over any little thing. Nerd Files, I'm with you, Nerd Slap. Tongue punch that like button. And we have everybody saying hi to everybody. I'm so happy to see all of the chat interaction. Night Saber coming in saying, "What up, boys? You know what's up?
Saber?
A great Thursday night with the homies, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday." Oh man, UK Gamer coming in saying, "Do you think Elon funded it to get to the discovery stage of it?" Certainly that's part of it. I know Elon was very explicit in saying that. Because what Elon said was, when he got Twitter and it became X, he said that if you were fired or let go from your job because of something that you said on my platform, I will fund you. I will fund your court case. And that's what happened with Gina Carano. Gina Carano put out that tweet, and there was a very, very public falling out, if you will, where she got fired. And Elon explicitly reached out to Gina Carano and was like, I got you. Whatever you need, we'll take care of it. And partially it's because Elon wants to support free speech. He wants to support his platform. But UK Gamer, you make a really good point. The discovery is what matters. Getting to see what the other side says behind the scenes is a big, big thing. And getting that stuff out and then getting it plastered all over X, taking up the news cycle, that's super, super important.
And
And
also was a big fu to fucking Bob Iger.
oh, absolutely, because Bob
Yeah.
Iger was constantly giving FUs to Elon as well.
Mhm.
Bob Iger, go take your seventh shower for the day, you weirdo. And again, Ibumi Bobby Bola saying it's not about the money, it's about the message and the meaning. Absolutely, it's about the principle of the matter. About the principle of the matter. Nerd Slap is saying, "What should I meme Phantom onto?" Phantom, do you have a preference, perchance?
Yeah, if you want to meme me on something, meme me on Halo, Master Chief.
Mm,
Maybe in the Master Chief because I don't give a shit.
well, Ebola has a special one. He says you should be memed onto Alyssa Mercante. How do you feel about
Okay,
that?
you know what? If I would have seen that, I would time Ebola out.
Oh, you're gonna time a mod out? That's rough. Mike is saying, I posted a new video about Chinese New Year culture, links in the GCA Discord. By the way, if you guys aren't a member of either our Discord, the For the Homies Discord, the links are in the description. And if you're not a member of the GCA Discord, part of the fellowship that we are a part of the 199, part of the larger fellowship, get in that. Get in that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. UK Gamer saying, can we get a shout out for Nerd Roddick? He has had a family member pass away and will not be going to MegaCon. Yes.
Praise for Gary.
Yeah. On Monday, he released a tweet saying that there were some family issues and that he was not going to be going to MegaCon, and any streams for the week were canceled. And then it was just yesterday where he put out a tweet saying there was a death in the family. So to you, Nerd Roddick, to Gary, God bless you. God bless your family. And we're sending prayers out to you and your loved ones. And we hope that you guys are able to pull through this, that you guys are able to move through this, you guys are able to have time to mourn. And whenever you feel that you are able to and you're ready to come back and get back into things, we're going to be here. We'll be happy to see you back. Absolutely.
We always got your back, Gary. We always got your back, brother.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Westward again, in regards to Discovery, saying just watch everyone explode if it comes to light. Brother, that's what we're saying. I have a feeling that right now they're in the Discovery stage, and when stuff comes out, people's heads are going to blow. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Sophie, I explained it, but this was a message from earlier saying, don't know what you guys are saying because I have you on mute, but I want Discovery, and that's what we're saying. We want Discovery, and that's, I think that is what's happening right now. Since back in, I think it was October and November when the judge moved the case forward, that's usually when the Discovery phase begins. So that's what I think Gina Carano was alluding to in the tweet that we just posted, is that they're in Discovery, and in the next couple of weeks, she's going to have some more substantive, juicy stuff to show.
I mean, there's a lot that's going to be coming out. You know, we got the JFK files, we got the file, we got all that coming out this year.
Yeah,
trust me, we're going to be covering all of it because that's going to be big news.
Yeah, that's something Kreese and I especially have been speaking about, the JFK, RFK, and MLK files coming out, which, based on the timeline, should be coming out around mid-March. When those files will be released, hopefully unredacted. But at the very least, there will be more things that we haven't seen. Because the last time there was a release of files, that was in the early 2000s. And there were some back in. There was a lot of stuff there.
First Trump's presidency, they did release a little bit more.
There was a little bit there also, but he was being blocked by the National Archives, which. I'm not going to get into it, but again, around I think mid-March, based on the timeline, is when we'll be getting a lot of files dropping, potentially tens of thousands of pages. So there's going to be people going through that. It's going to be absolutely insane. UK Gamer brings up an interesting point, saying that if she wins, Gina Carano, and it looks likely, we're looking at 1 to 2 trillion in lost earnings. Certainly there will be lost earning even if Gina Carano doesn't win, but especially if she does win, it's going to make Disney look really bad, and there will absolutely be lost earnings from their entertainment division. 1 to 2 trillion dollars, that's a big number. I don't necessarily agree, but certainly, well, I guess it would really depend on how bad it is, but I would certainly say that as far as lost earnings are concerned over the past number of years and then going forward, easily a couple $100 billion.
UK redacted that. He said a half.
Oh, okay.
He said half a trillion, not a whole.
Okay.
A half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't even say it's dangerous. It's a dangerous night when Nerd Slap is bored and has access to a PC. So you're talking about every night. I'm not saying Nerd Slap is bored every night, but he always has access to a PC and he's doing some crazy stuff.
I gotta tell you, Nerd Slap is the GOAT when it comes to intros.
Oh, dude.
He's the GOAT.
The intro for Off the Hip, the intro for the Wednesday night show, the pre-late and gay. There's just
happy.
There's just one.
We need to talk to Nerd Slap. We need to talk to Nerd Slap. Hey, Nerd Slap, call us.
We will. And yes, Nerd Slap. I did check. I'm checking my DMs, and I'm gonna pull these up. Don't you worry. Isaac popping in saying, "Sup, you figs? What's up to you, you fig?" AP coming in saying, "Yo to you, good sir." AP, I'm interested about this. I roasted the shit out of Phil on Epicverse. Interesting. When I hop into the Discord after the show, I need you to tell me all about that. My goodness. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here. But anyways, let's one last comment before we continue. UK Gamer saying Elon also filmed a woman's case who was alleging that she was sad and that she was SA'd rather and held hostage by a medical group or hospital. Saw a story the other day on X. If you could DM that to me on Discord, I'm not talking about it on the show, but I would like to look into that. It's very interesting. Anyways, what else do we got here, Phantom?
So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is making a comeback.
Yes, it is, and I am interested in what you have to say about this, Phantom, because this is interesting.
Yeah, so Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to reprise her role as Buffy, and this is going to be, God, how many years? It's been, 20 years since the original
Well,
ending?
the movie was 1999, 1998, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then the show was, was it the next year or the year after? I'm not
About
quite
a year.
sure.
About a year.
Okay, so the next year. Okay, okay. I gotcha. Okay.
And so basically, I watched Buffy. I watched Angel. I loved them both. Good, two great characters, two great shows. Buffy went, I believe, 7 seasons before. I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was just done. She just didn't want to play anymore, which is fine.
Right.
And the finale was pretty phenomenal. It was really good, Then we had the spinoff of Angel that was pretty good until maybe the last season was kind of wonky. But having Sarah Michelle Gellar bring back her pretty much her only iconic role as Buffy, I'll give it a chance. I mean, we did. There were Willow. Willow was a gay character, which was fine, and then that it was part of the show. It was fine. It wasn't like whatever it was. But for me, if they can get the band back together, minus the dude that originally directed the show, what was his name?
Oh, Joss Whedon.
Yeah, because Joss Whedon did some naughty things and he got canceled. And
it is saying that Chloe Zhao is, and Idaho Mike can correct my pronunciation because I do not speak Mandarin, will be directing the pilot. Now, I don't know if this means that for the reboot of the show, they have an 8-episode season, and just so happens that Chloe Zhao will be directing the pilot. I don't know if she'll be directing the rest of the episodes or if it's going to be like HBO where they kind of pull in a different director for each episode. But Chloe Zhao doesn't exactly have a fantastic track record for content that you or I might enjoy, Phantom. her debut film was in 2015, which was it's described as a coming of age Native American drama tragedy, which okay. And apparently that did well. She directed a few other films since then. And her most recent film was in 2021 for Marvel. Guess which Marvel movie that released in 2021 she directed? Starts with an E.
Oh, the Eternals?
Yes.
Oh, no.
She directed the Eternals.
Oh, God. No, no, no.
AP is right in saying, oh, dear. Oh,
I
dear is correct.
dude,
AP.
I have the Eternals. I got it just to see how bad it was, and it was trash.
It was trash. AP again saying he's skeptical about it. I'm skeptical about it as well. And then Nerd Slap, excuse me, please excuse me. Nerd Slap bringing up the common sentiment: leave the old series alone, come up with new ideas. So this is where I am. This is why I'm so cautious. So on the one hand, it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it is
very popular show.
Very popular show. And it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. However, it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. If you're going to bring back Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, she's going to, at the very least, be in her, I think she's in her mid to late 40s. And there has not been any word on if this is going to be a continuation or if it's going to kind of be its own thing. I have a feeling that it's going to be a continuation in the sense that Sarah Michelle Gellar is going to be Buffy. I don't think they're going to be starting off from the very beginning. What I think is there's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? I have an idea that because of Sarah Michelle Gellar's age, I think that maybe she and, let's say, Angel got together and had a kid. And there is going to be a vampire slayer that is a new, like, what do you think, Phantom? What do you think?
Okay,
I see you immediately were trying to cut me off because you didn't like it. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so in this series of Angel, Buffy was part of she reformed the Watcher Covenant, and they were like fighting vampires in Europe at the time. Yes. So what I'm thinking is that she could be in the Giles role as the mentor to the new Slayers.
And remember, now, Giles, that actor, has passed away. He's no longer with us.
And so the thing with her and Angel, I don't think they'll bring David Borealis into the series because he has Navy SEALs.
Borealis. He's doing SEAL. He's doing SEAL team. Yeah,
it's
which he's really good at.
And you know, for me, I would rather have this be where maybe there's a vampire war going on, and you know she has to come back in the fold because maybe at the end of Buffy, Willow activated all the potential Slayers around the world in the very final episode with the Slayer weapon. And for me, this is just one of those things where it's like too little too late. I don't think anybody's really going to care about it. Don't take me wrong.
Really?
I mean, it's Buffy, but it's been so long.
Yeah,
so long.
Well, it has been so long, but Buffy has a similar fan base to what's that other Joss Whedon show?
Firefly.
That if like the same way that there was this Buffy announcement just now, and by the way, that's all there is. Like this right here, this is all that there is. There's no other information regarding it. There's people opining about what it could be, but this is all the information we have. Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival series in the works at Hulu. Sarah Michelle Gellar will return to star as Buffy, and that Chloe Zhao will direct the pilot. That's it. That's all we have. So that's why I was going off of thinking that maybe they'll have a kid and there'll be a new Slayer, et cetera, and so forth. But Phantom, you know the series very well, and you gave a good explanation about what it might be. But my point about Buffy and Firefly is there is a large enough fan base that which has grown over the past couple decades that with this announcement of Buffy, I feel like it would be similar to if tomorrow they announced that there's going to be a season 2 of Firefly. I feel like the fan base would just, oh my god!
Well, yeah.
And when it would be released, they would watch it, and hopefully it's good. If it is good, I think it would do extremely well. But then, of course, there's always the current day issue of a revival series basically just being
an allegory for
bringing
something.
out, being allegorical and lefty BS, and also bringing out this beloved horse that is now a gelding in pasture, and every one of the writers gives the actors a bat and tells them to beat it to death in front of our eyes. That is obviously the main concern.
Well, see, that's just the thing. I mean, like, we have to say that, we got the movie Serenity, which was a good love letter. It was it tied in Firefly. It gave it its ending, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I
the
agree
ending they
that
wanted, but the ending they were able to come up with the time they had.
I mean, I agree. I mean, people love this series. I mean, when I heard this, I was stoked. We talked about this not too long ago. I'm like, but my problem is they're going to have where the vampires are going to be allegory for the LGBTQ community and migrants, whatever.
Right.
All I have to say is we'll keep an eye on it, and when we get more and more news, we'll talk about it, because it's my thing is, why now? Why? At this point, they could have brought it back at any time. I mean, Buffy just was it a few years ago? They did that spread for Vanity Fair with the cast. It was like the reunion, the 20-year anniversary of the cast or whatever. So we just have to wait and see. I've had I've talked about this in Discord on how I don't like it when they bring back something that's been has been out of the eye of public for so many years.
Yeah, 2 decades. That's a long time.
There might not be a market for it, and they could just be bringing it in for propaganda bullshit, and it's going to be awful.
Right. That's very true. I do want to give a quick shout out. I want to give a quick shout out to Nerd Slap for putting this together, and man, did he whip it up in a hurry. Phantom, how do you feel about this? Do you like that?
You son of a bitch.
You like that? I like that the glasses were kept as well. And shout out to Idaho Mike holding it down over there in the CCP. Because of Chinese New Year, I think this should be your new background, Phantom. The Girl Fighter.
You son of a bitches.
And
you son of a bitches.
If you're a big fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and you're a fan of Wushu martial arts, this one is not. I mean, look at the look. You know what I think when I see this? I'm like, this is a shorter, more southern Steven Seagal. That's what it looks like. It looks like Steven Seagal is a Wushu fighter.
dude, I have to say, like, one of my favorite fun movies of all time is Kung Pao, Way of the Fist.
Oh, dude, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. Yeah.
Man, that's probably my favorite movie of all time. Yeah.
Westford saying that's even more cursed than what Mercante normally looks like. That's a high bar to clear.
I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have a talk Saturday night, Westward. We're gonna have a long talk.
Everybody.
Hey, I can tell you one thing though. I'm gonna tell you one thing though. You're not gonna get me to say something stupid on stream like Mo does every on the GCA and stuff. No, so ain't gonna be no wanting to see something it tastes like or shit like that for me. No, it's not happening. Not happening.
you can't make Phantom say something dumb. He just does it. He does it on his own. So have your finger
That
over
is
the button to
true.
clip it, and
That
you'll
is
get
true.
it.
That is
You'll
true.
get it.
Mhm.
Nerd Slab taking a bow. I appreciate it. And Weirin coming in hot over in Britain saying, lovely. I agree. It was lovely.
Well,
So,
they
yeah.
should go back and check last week's show. They probably find something. I thought we were friends, Sophie. I thought we were friends.
And saw something cursed. I'm with Vala. That boy ain't right. Yeah. And Ebola, again, mimicking what I said, or mirroring what I said. Phantom doesn't say something dumb by accident. He does it naturally. He does it naturally.
It's always funny. It's always funny.
So Phantom, if you finish with your comments on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we have a couple more bits of quick internet news, and one of them is I'm pretty sure this is DC, or no?
No, this is Marvel.
Is it Marvel?
Kraven.
It's about Kraven the Hunter, and this is just insane. Kraven the Hunter has finished its theatrical run at $59 million, the lowest grossing movie in the Sony Marvel franchise. That is wild.
Dude, this made less than Madam Web and Morbius. They both.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Whoa.
It made back like half of its filming budget. Like the filming budget was over $100 million. That does not count advertising either. So this movie lost a ton of money. A ton of money.
Okay, so what hurt this movie? One, they literally made him a dude that would. Okay, so we all know Kraven, the character Kraven the Hunter. He's the ultimate hunter in the Marvel universe, right?
Yes.
It's in his name. He hunts for sport. Instead of him hunting animals in this movie, he was the poster boy for PETA. Literally. Yes. And don't get me started on them how they did Rhino.
Oh, dude, like you're saying, Kraven the Hunter is the ultimate hunter. His thing is that Earth or any other planet, whether it's wildlife or human beings or aliens, he is the ultimate hunter. You know, if you guys have ever read the book The Most Dangerous Game, which is about humans being the most dangerous game, Kraven doesn't play the most dangerous game. He is the game. He can hunt anything. And his whole thing is that he is a hunter and he wants to hunt shit. He's not a preservationist. He's not like a modern day deer hunt. Yeah, he's not like a modern day deer hunter where in deer season they go and they get a couple of tags, and depending on the year, maybe you get 2 tags, maybe you get 3 tags. Maybe you can only take does this year. Maybe you have to take a buck over a certain point. No. He finds something he wants to hunt and he gets that thing, and then he moves on to the next. So to have this whole like PETA weird lefty conservationist thing, you know, protecting nature and wildlife, that's absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Well, don't forget, he was bored, and when he saw the footage of Spider-Man, he decided to hunt Spider-Man because he was bored hunting animals.
Exactly.
I mean, so Kraven is an anti-hero. They wrote that into his, you know, probably the best adaptation of Kraven has to be from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Last Hunt.
And Last Hunt.
Like AP brought it up Last Hunt when he hunted Spider-Man.
And just seeing this, it's like, so what's up, Vagabond?
You got to hurry up and go, homie. You're in Macon. You got to make that drive, brother. It's Thursday night right now.
So so I've seen the clips on YouTube, and I'm like, this is just fucking retarded.
It looks bad.
And then they showed Rhino, and I'm like, they will never get Rhino right, because in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, we got that mech suit wearing Rhino, which was fucking
Paul
retarded.
Giamatti
Yeah,
in the mech suit.
and then we get this dude with a nanotech armor that just forms around his body.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop doing these Spider-Man movies.
Yes, please.
Put
Please,
at least put Spider-Man in these movies. Morbius failed. Madam Web failed. This
Yes.
failed. Why? Because the Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man in it.
Yes. And when it comes to the the agreement that Sony and Marvel have for Spider-Man, when Spider-Man movies come out, they do gangbusters. They do incredibly well. However, Sony kind of on its own is trying to set up Spider-Man's rogues gallery, but every single one of them, there's been 3 so far. Every single one of them absolutely sucks. Like
Only
there's
only
nothing
Venom.
redeeming.
Only Venom was the only successful Spider-Man villain that
Right.
actually had successful. I know a lot of
And it had
people
2
didn't like the
sequels.
third. Yeah, well, 3. It had 3.
3 sequels. No, I
Yeah.
said it had 2 sequels.
Yeah, it had 3.
3
So,
whole movies.
and a lot of people didn't like number 3. I've seen clips of it. Number 3 is not as good as the first 2, and I do like the first 2 movies. But Venom is a popular character. They can print money with these
Mhm.
movies. They choose not to because they're retarded.
Yes. Yeah, like you're saying, Venom did incredibly well. They had a good director, they had a good actor, and that movie did incredibly well. Which is the complete opposite of something that Vatla brought up, which is Morbius got memed into failing twice. I don't know what Sony was smoking, but somehow they thought Morbius was so popular due to all the memeing that they pushed to give it another release in theaters. And I think it made like under $10 million. Like, what are you doing, Sony? What is going on over there?
So what
is
they
going
should
on?
so what they should have done with Morbius, we already know that Marvel is
Be safe.
see, I hope you stay safe, my friend. When it comes to Morbius, we already know that the Blade movie is DOA. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
People they don't want Mahershala Ali. They
Which
want
doesn't
Wesley
make
Snipes.
sense to me because Mahershala Ali is a great actor, and I think he would have been a fantastic Blade. Even Wesley Snipes came out and said Mahershala Ali would have done well.
Yeah, and we got Wesley Snipes returning as Blade and Deadpool Wolverine, which was, hey,
he looked great. He looked great too. He could easily do it.
Yeah, it's like I fanboyed over that, and then he said, there's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh,
and
what a line!
I would have rather seen Morbius in a Blade movie where he belongs, and then instead of a solo movie. He wasn't really a popular character in comic books. He was pretty decent in the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s, which I like the Morbius ones. But for me, it's like I would rather have these characters debut in a Spider-Man movie than have origin stories. I really did not fucking care about the origins of Madam Web. Didn't care. Didn't want to. Kraven the Hunter, probably one of the coolest bad guys in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. Already knew his origin story. Did we need a movie about him? Maybe, but not like this. Not like this. Not. Oh, my daddy. Dude, this is the premise of the movie. My daddy was mean to me, and I got this stuff, and I had this ability when I got bitten by. He's Spider-Man because he got bitten by the lion, and the lion gave him his abilities in the fucking movie.
Which is just dumb. Because I don't know if you guys know this, lions are big. If you get bitten by a lion, that's usually the last time you're going to get bitten by anything.
He was a kid.
Be dead.
He was a kid, and it bit him there in the neck area.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I will say this though. I'm kind of with Ebola on this, or excuse me, with AP on this. Can we get a movie with Blade hunting down Morbius? That would be
Well, that's
sick.
what happened in the comics. That's what happened in the comics when Morbius got his, he became the living vampire. Guess who was hunting him? Guess who showed up in New York City and went after him? It was
Blade.
fucking Blade. It was
Yeah,
Blade.
of course. And again, by that logic, being bitten by a lion and turned into this great hunter, AP makes a great point. I got bit by a car and turned into an Autobot. That's basically the same logic. That's basically the same thing. It'd be like getting hit by a car, and then instead of dying because you got splattered on the asphalt, you turn into an Autobot. Like, come on.
It's like no Mo getting hit by a wet noodle and becoming gay. I mean, that's how it happened with him.
Anyways, speaking of Sony and Marvel failures, we can go to their parent company, Disney, who, and mind you, it is the 6th of February, and already Disney has lost 700,000 subscribers in quarter one of this year.
Mm-hmm.
That is wild. Phantom and do you guys have any thoughts on why that might be? Please.
Oh, the shitty product they put on there, the shitty Marvel and Star Wars stuff they put on there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Willow, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Do I need to go on? I mean, yeah, shitty company.
Sure, go on. Why not?
Pretty much when Willow failed, they completely nuked it from orbit, completely removed it from the site.
They removed it from the service, which is wild.
Also, it will never be on physical media. They've already announced it never will be on physical media.
Gone. It's gone. It's like the original moon landing tapes they taped over it. Yeah. It's gone. You're never going to find it again.
And the Acolyte, Agatha, the movies. I mean, we're about to have another failure in Captain Falcon, Black America, that's coming out soon.
Comrade Falcon.
Yeah, and
he says that America or that Captain America is more of an idea. It's not about the United States, which yeah, it is.
Quantumania, the Marvels, the Eternals. The only bright spot in this in this equation was Deadpool and Wolverine. $1 billion film.
And that movie, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Phantom, but that basically wasn't even Disney. That was Ryan Reynolds and his director doing their own thing, because and this is what they should do when it comes to this. So, as you guys remember with Deadpool, when Deadpool came out, before Deadpool came out, remember they released that like first 10 minutes. Someone leaked the first 10 minutes of
Ryan
the show,
Reynolds
of the movie, where it was they had unfinished CG and sound design, things like that, and people saw it and they were like, "Oh shit, this looks amazing," and that gave the push for Disney to say, like, or at the time Fox, to 20th Century Fox, to say, okay. And then Deadpool came out, and it was an R-rate. It was a superhero comedy that was R-rated,
and it worked.
And it worked. It made well over $1 billion. And
so no. It didn't get. Deadpool Wolverine was the only in the franchise history to make $1 billion.
Okay, excuse me. It did very well. It certainly made its money back enough to prompt a sequel. And what they did for the sequel was they were like, okay, by this point, Disney had purchased 20th Century Fox, or they were in the process of purchasing 20th Century Fox. But they kept the formula, which was Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. He's an executive producer. He's a lot of creative control. They kept the same director.
He wrote most of the shit. He did all the jokes, everything.
And then the second movie came out, and it did very well. And then, of course, you get to the third one, which absolutely crushed, like Phantom said, made over $1 billion. And it was the same thing. Ryan Reynolds, basically at the head of the creative part, same director, managed to rope in people like Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine. You again, Wesley Snipes' Blade. It was fantastic, and that was anomalous. That was anomalous because the first Deadpool, again, it was a superhero movie, fine, but it was an R-rated comedy, and those are like, those are two strikes. Like, no. Comedy, no. R-rated, absolutely not, as far as making money is concerned. But it was anomalous, and so just real quick, fan, if I may, Disney and Marvel specifically are not fans of that kind of stuff. I heard a joke the other day from someone who said that, unlike older movies, like let's say Lord of the Rings, where they did like a couple of years of pre-production and blocking and filming small sets with lipstick cameras to figure out how the movie's going to be shot when you have it. When it comes to Disney, the joke was like, we hired a director, because they always hire gun for hire directors and never keep the same people around. They're like, oh, that Marvel movie you're directing, it's basically done. You're just going to be here for a few weeks to do a little bit more directing, and then we're going to send it off to get the CG done, and it's over with. So all of their movies and their shows are like designed by committee, and the creative input from the people at the front of it, whether it be the head writer, the director, the actors who are starring, it's completely antithetical to the way that like Deadpool did things. And so all of their shows specifically for Disney Plus are they're just bad. And even if they didn't have like lefty political activist writers, because of the process that they use, even if they had writers that didn't care about that, they just were thinking about the material, in my opinion, they'd still be mediocre. They'd still be milquetoast. They'd still be boring. What do you think about that?
I agree. And the one thing that actually helped this movie, Ryan Reynolds had complete control over Deadpool. That's in his contract. Deadpool belongs to Ryan Reynolds. Right. Nobody can touch that character but him.
Yes. Absolutely.
In Deadpool 1, phenomenal. Deadpool 2, great. Deadpool 3, a 10 out of 10. It was fucking perfect. It might have some little here and there, but I got a chance to watch it with a bunch of the guys. It fell off a truck, and I was in tears throughout the whole thing. And he literally got Hugh Jackman, who retired from Wolverine, to come back. And he was in this one. He's going to be part of Secret Wars. And he's probably going to be probably part of the next two Avenger movies, which is Doom and Secret Wars. Ryan Reynolds truly cares about the character. And like I said earlier, Gina was supposed to be in this. Ryan wanted her in this. Disney's that's the only thing that he couldn't get was Gina to reprise her role from the first movie, which I would love to have seen it. It's just, for me, this is karma for Disney for all the political bullshit that they've been playing on us for the last 20 years.
I agree.
Eat it. # cancel Disney Plus. Straight up.
That's right. And
straight up.
You are absolutely among friends, because we have people in the chat saying that. Nerd Slap saying Disney's a bunch of figs. Disney's a bunch of figs. Ebola bringing up saying, what? You didn't like how they decanonized all the Star Wars lore? And Isaac, of course, with the # cancel Disney Plus. Absolutely for it. AP saying screw Disney. And Ebola also, again, bringing up another fantastic point. The only good shows that are on Disney have been produced, or that Disney has produced, have been foreign shows, and it's not even made by them. Disney just put them on the site. That's correct. Disney Plus has a lot of shows that they have no involvement in. They're foreign-made shows that maybe they get a little bit of funding from Disney, but they're foreign. They're made by foreign directors. They have foreign actors. They have foreign writers, and Disney just puts them on the platform. And those are the only shows that like perform, basically. And again, it's funny how now their best stuff isn't even their main stuff, but their foreign shows It is.
Well,
really
you
is.
also got to think X-Men 97 did really well. And
Mhm.
we've already seen the monstrosity of the new Spider-Man that's coming out, where they race swapped Harry Osborn, they race swapped his father, and we know that's going to be a complete and utter disaster
Oh,
when it
dude.
comes out.
And even with their I don't know if it's going to be a comic or a television show, but what is the name of the doctor who is the lizard who has like the missing arm? He's trying to grow
Oh,
his.
that's in the Spider-Man cartoons.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Connors.
Connors.
Now it's a
Dr.
black
Connors
woman.
is a younger black woman now, which like why? Why?
Well, it's
Why?
like it's like Night Saber told us. So we know Kurt Connors uses lizard DNA and it becomes a lizard. So when the female Black Dark Connors, did she use gorilla DNA? She's gonna become a gorilla when she morphs.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Happy Black History Month, everybody.
Yeah. And speaking of Black History Month, like AP says, everyone was race or gender swap. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Except if they were initially a black, like you don't see Falcon being race swapped to a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy.
Oh, there's a thing. So in the new Captain America movie, so we know Bucky's not going to be in it, but the Mexican dude that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to
Yeah.
become the new Falcon. So a Mexican guy is going to become Falcon now.
I oh my gosh. And with that, and then Westward saying, I hope Dr. Connors is trans. Ebola, can you time out Westward? It only has to be like 5 minutes, but I do not want, don't you put that evil on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Westward.
Well, I mean,
man.
lizards can be asexual, so yeah, I can see growing a dick.
Up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm so glad that I'm starting to hear the bells jingle because I really think we're getting close to heading to the farm. And you know what that means if we get down onto the farm.
It's time for trailer trash.
Oh, thank goodness we've been able to get to that. So, our first trailer, we have two for you this week, guys. Our first trailer just dropped yesterday. I don't know how you guys feel about the Jurassic World series, but there is a new Jurassic World movie that is coming out. And of the previous three Jurassic World movies, none of those actors are returning. We have an entirely new set of actors. And you know what? Phantom, before you go off, let's watch this. Chat, let's watch this. Let's see what people think about Jurassic World Rebirth starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. In a 3, a 2, a 1, let's go.
Why? Oh God.
Okay. Hold on a second. Just a hot second. All right, Phantom.
I can already see the member. I can see the member bearings already.
Phantom. I want you to take 10 seconds to take a couple of deep breaths, real quick. Deep breath. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay. Now, is everybody ready? Phantom, go.
Okay, so the trailer begins. You see a member berry of the sign falling off from the original movie where T-Rex goes in there and he fights the raptors. So basically, they're going back to Ground Zero, the original island from the original movie, the original,
which is what's the first island called?
It's just known as Jurassic Park. I can't remember the name of the island. So chat probably tell us.
Right. It's supposed to be a Costa Rican island.
Yeah.
Island Norma, something like that.
And if you look at the scenes and stuff, it almost reminds me of Kong Skull Island. in a way.
Oh,
And
interesting. Okay.
it
I get what
and
you're saying.
and then it's like there's member berries just like scattered out through this, like Mahershala Ali with the flare, like it was in the
Right,
original
like
movie.
Jeff
Jeff Gold,
Goldblum.
yeah, come
Yeah.
here, baby. And it's like, oh my Jesus Christ.
Okay. So I see some people in the chat like UK Gamer is saying girl boss movie that usually means female expert role is now a beta male.
Mm,
Um so there was some of that. You saw that the main male guy with the glasses, that not Mahershala Ali, but the main scientist guy, you know, he's got his glasses, he's kind of a small build, he's a nerdy guy. He knows in theory a lot about this, but in practice not a lot. And Scarlett Johansson is, I imagine, like some type of safari guide type person,
mercenary, probably
a
mercenary.
mercenary. But I will say this as far as girl boss stuff goes. Because they're dinosaurs, there's not going to be like hand-to-hand combat, so you don't have to worry about a small framed woman taking on like a massive 250-pound guy. And Scarlett Johansson did have a lot of firearms, so that's fine. You know, firearms are the great equalizer. I don't care how big you are as a man. If you have a 110-pound soaking wet woman with a gun, she's going to take your ass down. So there is that at the very least. And I did want to bring attention to a tweet that I saw very recently about Scarlett Johansson, which says Scarlett Johansson spent years sending every report about a new Jurassic Park movie to her agents and telling them, "Hey, I'm available." So apparently, since like the early 2000s, Scarlett Johansson has wanted to be in a Jurassic Park movie. And so that leads me to think that she has a love for this series and a care for what the series is and represents, that even though her character is like a girl boss, if you will, it makes me think that she has more respect for the series than potentially the writers might. And she would want to make sure that her character, even though she's kind of girl bossy, is going to fit well and would be a solid choice for a character. What do you think? Do you agree with that, Phantom? What do you think?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. And you also got to think during that time that she was putting these out, she was pigeonholed in Marvel as Black Widow. And, you know, she missed opportunities to be part of the Jurassic Park series.
Right. Honestly, I would have preferred Scarlett Johansson over Bryce Dallas Howard, personally.
I could see that because she had good chemistry with Chris Pratt in the Marvel movies.
Right.
When they were together, yeah.
My thing with that was Bryce Dallas Howard looks like she's a decade older than Chris Pratt, which I think she might be, actually. I know Chris Pratt is like in his his late 30s, and Bryce Dallas Howard is in her 40s. I know that. AP is asking why, and you know what? I kind of want to hone in on this as the why. So when Jurassic World came out, it was a semi continuation of Jurassic Park, but in this new setting of they're like reviving the park. They're naming Jurassic World. They're making it like a mix between like Universal Studios and SeaWorld, basically. And then they had the two subsequent sequels where they again, you know, broke out and like kind of were all over the world. This movie, and this goes to the why. This doesn't seem like a continuation of either those three movies, or of
Could
those.
be going back to the original.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of the way James Cameron has constantly redone the third Terminator movie like 4 times now. It feels like this is a continuation of the 90s Jurassic Park movies and just skipping ahead a number of years and then picking up after that. And that is odd to me. Again, there was no, like, Chris Pratt wasn't there, Bryce Dallas Howard wasn't there. The characters from those 3 Jurassic World movies aren't a part of this. And so if this is a movie that's going to be continuing from Jurassic Park, like they said at the beginning of the trailer, they were talking about how there's one isolated place in the world where these creatures have been allowed to thrive and procreate and evolve and things like that. Why call it Jurassic World? I understand calling it Jurassic Park might be an issue, but why call it Jurassic World? Because I have a feeling people will see this trailer and potentially even go into the movie thinking, this isn't Jurassic World 4. This is like something totally different. And honestly, the way it's formed, the way it's presenting itself, I think you could feasibly, with a small amount of rewrites, you could totally remove the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park stuff from it and just make kind of like its own dinosaur movie.
Well, so we know that the most recent in that series with Chris Pratt was supposed to have been the last movie because they brought back most of the original cast.
Right.
And it didn't do good. It didn't do good at all.
Right.
And I thought that was basically the way they promoted, that was the last in that series. And so they're going back to the original island, and it's probably going to be full of member berries, so locations, parts of the island. And at this point, do I think it's a cash grab? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna be a cash grab. And just in that first few seconds of the movie, you already have a member berry from the end of the first movie where the banner is falling.
Right, right.
And you see some of the scenes from the original island. You see the original island and stuff, and I'm like, here we go, another Jurassic Park movie that they're trying to get money off of. And will it be good? Probably do good overseas. I mean, here, I don't know.
We seem to, in the chat at least, we seem to have some mixed opinions. So we have, Ebola saying it doesn't even look like Jurassic Park. AP is saying, what the F was that? What did I just watch? Why? Ebola, let's start from here. Ebola saying it looks like Jurassic Park 2 again, but worse. However, we have some contrary opinions. We have Westward on KSW saying this is going to win July. Weirun saying none of what I just saw was good. Vala is saying it's a safer bet to win July than Marvel or DC, possibly. So there seems to be some scattered opinions here. Some people think some people think it might be bad.
So when this comes out, this is going to pretty much go head to head with Superman.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Okay.
And I also think Fantastic Four around the same. All three of them are coming out around the same time.
Maybe. And that's a good segue. However, real quick, I do want to say, AP has pointed out to me, Chris Pratt is 45 years old. Damn, he looks good for 45. Bryce Dallas Howard is 43. She looks 53. So I was incorrect on their actual ages. However, how they look, it does look like Bryce Dallas Howard is in her 50s and about a decade older than Chris Pratt. I will say that. However, what we've just had is we've had some disagreements. Some people saying it's going to be good. Some people it's going to be bad. But with our next trailer, there is some similar opinions where people have watched it. They said, look like it might be good. There's some people who watched it said it looks like it's going to be bad. I know what your opinion is, Phantom, and you're going to share that with us. But let's go ahead and watch that trailer first. And we have here Fantastic Four First Steps. This is the official teaser. And let's go ahead and watch this, give our opinions on it, cue them up in the comments. We'll get to them. And in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Okay. Now, one more time, Phantom. I just want to say one more time. 10 seconds. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Okay. Now, go.
Okay, so we do know that Galactus is a guy in the suit. Gary mentioned this like about a month ago.
Which is definitely a plus.
Yeah, they could at least did a thing in a man in a suit because he looks like he's got Down syndrome. He does. There's a lot of that trailer I like. I like the car that's in it. I like the.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So a lot of people, I'm agreeing with a lot of people. I think the art style, I think the CD, I think the set designs look really good.
How do you feel about it being presented as if it's filmed like on 16 millimeter home film, where it has like the rounded edges and it's in
it looks okay.
Okay,
because it's a period piece. It's supposed to be in the 60s when the Fantastic Four debuted. For me, I think I'm gonna give it a chance.
Okay.
Maybe this is a teaser. They might fix up the thing a little bit, which I highly doubt. I think the costumes look good. I think the Human Torch transformation looked pretty decent. We didn't see the female Silver Surfer.
We didn't see anything regarding Silver Surfer.
I give Disney that much because they know if they would have put her in this first trailer, it'd been ripped a lot harder than what it was.
Well, let's actually see what it looks like currently. So it's got nearly 24 million views. It's only been out for 2 days, and 800,000 likes with only 50 dislikes. Honestly, for a Disney project, that's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
So like when Comic-Con last year happened, we saw leaks. Hey, Sophie.
Hey, go ahead and finish your thought. I'm gonna bring Sophie on.
And I got a chance to see the raw footage of Galactus. Galactus looked good. It's a guy in a suit, strapped guy in a suit. You gonna bring Sophie in?
No, go ahead and finish your thought.
And to me, I think the thing is like lacking because it's better than the 2015 Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
The thing is though, I can't put it on the same level as the Jessica Alba ones from the early 2000s.
Oh, dude.
Because those are still good.
Wasn't Harvey Weinstein a part of that and kind of the reason why they got Jessica Alba to get down into her skivvies? Anyways, Ebola's agreeing with you. Can't do worse than 2015 Fantastic. However, we have a new challenger approaching. Sophie, it's so good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Hello. What's up, boys?
We're doing well, Sophie. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Just finished my late class, and I gotta get up tomorrow at 5:30 to go to my other class. Nothing.
Oh my goodness gracious! So, did you watch the trailer just now?
Yes, so I'd seen it before on Daily,
Okay.
and you know what? I don't know. I don't know. I give up.
Okay.
I give up
You give up.
Marvel. It's like, yeah,
Oh,
just
I
do what
see.
you want. Just do what you want. You know what?
Right. Right.
I do like Eddie Quinn as Johnny. I think he will do good in that part.
Yeah, I think I think that would do well. Also, people in the chat are not happy about some of the other characters. UK Gamer immediately straight up calling it trash, saying that they've cucked Reed Richards.
Yeah, oh man, Pedro Pascal as him, just
Yeah,
no. There was a picture today. I don't know where I
Be
saw
back.
it.
okay.
I think maybe it was on Twitter that they were like
Mhm.
putting side by side Pedro Pascal and the actor. I never know his name from the first.
From the first one back in the 2000s. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like he looks exactly like Reed Richards.
Right. Oh,
Like,
the original casting, they did very well. Like especially with Michael Chiklis as the Thing, I felt that was excellent casting. And we, excuse me, Westward's in here saying that the Thing's voice is terrible. That's something that immediately stuck out to me. I felt that the Thing's voice was bad. And again, going back to the original Fantastic Four that came out in the 2000s, so I guess not the original, but the first movie that came out. Michael Chiklis playing the Thing, they had a filter over his voice when he was the Thing to make him sound more like a person who's made out of rocks, I guess. And again, carrying on the same sentiment that Pedro Pascal is terrible casting for Reed Richards. And I would have to agree. I'd have to agree.
all right, could you bring this up?
Sure, absolutely. What do you have here?
This is what I saw. Price of Reason comparing the two. These are
Mm.
both 2025 picks.
Gosh, he's still 20 years later. He still looks great
It looks
to
good.
play Reed Richards. Oh yeah, he has that little streak of silver through his hair as well.
Yeah. Why Pedro Pascal? Why?
I mean, it seems like it's because Pedro Pascal I feel like
He
Pedro
has the
Pascal,
right politics.
exactly. He has the right politics. When he first came on the scene as a leading man, people liked him and he was a good actor. And because he has the correct politics, they just throw him in everything.
He was in a show called Forever. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Mhm.
It was so good, and they canceled it. It was so good.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so he was also in a British production, The Scarlet Pimpernel. He was part of that,
Oh, right.
and
Scarlet Pimpernel. Okay.
so one of the reasons why Pedro got this role is his name recognition from The
Right.
Mandalorian and other stuff that he's been in. And that's one of the reasons why, because his contract with Disney's coming up after the Mando Grogu movie. We don't know if they're gonna like hold true to the season 2 of The Last of Us, because we know Joel gets killed in the game in season 2.
Right.
In the game, so we don't know if he's gonna die in that or not. For me, I would rather have Pedro Pascal play Doctor Doom than Robert Downey Jr. It would have been more suiting for him.
So, speaking of Doctor Doom, let me bring up the trailer really quick. So, early on, standing next to Reed Richards, they have where is the shot? Because they have him stand this shot right here. Okay.
That's the
Now-
thing, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing. Excuse me.
That's
me.
Ben.
So okay. So now we could pull up a couple
I don't
more
like
shots.
the
Now-
Baxter. I don't like the Baxter building. I don't like it.
Oh,
Looks
the
retarded.
building. You think the
Mhm.
building
Well,
is bad? Okay.
I didn't like his intro, like there where he's saying like, "Oh yeah, we have family dinner mandatory." Like that, I don't know. That's not Reed Richards. And the way he looks, he
Right.
looks like a mafia boss.
Yeah, he does.
Well, see-
he does.
I don't like him.
Okay, so
No.
that's Avengers Tower. That is
It looks
the basic-
exactly like the Avengers Tower. They
It
just made
is.
the A slightly shaped like a 4.
So
Um,
in Spider-Man No Way Home, they have a scene where Spider-Man flies in that gap in the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
That is that building. So
Okay.
basically that is that world's version of Avengers Tower, because the Avengers never had tower in the original comic books. It was a mansion. It was Tony
Right.
Stark's mansion. And so that is the Avengers Tower that that was leaded to in No Way Home, and
Right,
Herbie the robot is
Right.
an Easter
Yeah,
egg
let's-
from the cartoon.
No, yeah, Herbie is. First off, I just want to say regarding the Baxter Building, as far as the '60s are concerned, like
That's
this
60s.
interior looks very. It's very like chic '60s,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it looks very nice actually.
Mm.
However, a perfect shot right here, where he's next to Storm.
Well,
I'm with Sophie. They haven't dressed like a mafia boss, and that's not Reed Richards.
Mhm.
Reed Richards, yeah, he wears a suit, but he's this scientist. He cares about the
He's a
science.
nerd.
He's a
And
nerd.
another
Exactly. He's a nerd. He's a nerd.
And
for
another
crying out
thing,
loud.
Nerd.
Reed
Nerd.
Richards doesn't wear a mustache
Nope.
until like
Nope.
most recently.
He's fully shaved. And Phantom, you also wanted to point out the robot.
Yeah, Herbie.
The robot, which
So
never appeared in the movies. Give
No,
us
he was
give
never-
us a little background on that.
Okay, so
Yeah, because
Herbie
I have
was
no
a
idea about this.
Okay, so Herbie was created for a Fantastic Four 80s cartoon where they did so at the time they didn't have the rights to the Human Torch, so he wasn't in the series. So it was Reed, it was Ben, it was Sue, and it was Herbie the robot.
Right.
And so it's actually a nice little nod that they brought him in because he was a fan favorite from the original cartoons. Like I said, I think the sets look phenomenal. I think the decor looks great. I think the CD looks great. Their costumes is somewhat comic book accurate, and if you guys notice, their
Right.
costumes are the costumes that are in Rivals right now. So
Yes,
Rivals already knew what the
yes.
costumes were going to look like, and they
Uh-huh.
already introduced them into the game. So, for
And-
me, this is comic book accurate for the thing because he has worn like a full suit. There's been times he just goes for the pants.
Right. But
I don't-
even though it's comic accurate, it looks like he's wearing a weird turtleneck. I don't think that
Yeah.
it translates well to live
Mm-mm.
action.
Mm-mm.
I just think it looks weird. And again, his voice just it doesn't match.
And it's a
It doesn't match.
little out of tune.
It needs to
Yeah.
be more gravelly because
Yes.
so if you ever like watch the cartoons, he has a distinct gravelly voice because he is rock. Maybe like his organs inside are it's all rock. I don't think he has
Right.
any human organs at all because of the.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but
No,
even his voice.
his entire body is just rock. There's
Yeah.
no like blood in
I
him or
think
anything like
I
that.
think it depends on the run because they were talking
The
about
writer,
that.
yeah.
I don't know in what stream. They're like, oh yeah, he has the organs are rocky, and then in another he's just more durable. So
Right.
I don't know.
Who knows? It could be either one. I
It
found it. UK Gamer pointed out that it should be a gravelly voice for a man made of gravel. Absolutely. Again, the same thing they did with the first Fantastic Four movie in the 2000s when Michael Chiklis became the Thing. They had him lower an octave when he spoke, speak kind of gravelly, and they put a little bit of a filter over it to make it sound more imposing, more gravelly. Exactly.
He sounds like the one from 2015, to be honest.
I have not watched that
Oh,
He
movie
does.
at all.
He does. He does.
Sophie, there's no reason to watch it either. There's
No,
no reason
I-
to watch it.
The moment they race swapped Johnny, I'm like,
Johnny.
no, I'm out. They're brothers. What the fuck?
Yeah, and Michael B. Jordan's a good actor, and I felt like he did
Siblings.
well in the role. But it was like an unnecessary race swap. It was an unnecessary, and then they had to change the backstory of why he and Sue are brother and sister, so that she was adopted, and this, that, and the other thing. It's just
Which nothing wrong with that, but
there's nothing wrong with it.
do it a different way. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that
certainly,
movie.
I
They
did not
they,
watch it.
they get their powers by going into another dimension that was fucking retarded. Doctor Doom was gayer than Mo. It's
Oh,
super
dude.
gay,
Oh wow.
gayer than Mo, and
It-
Mo's pretty gay.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he
it's
looked like
awful.
he got wrapped in trash bags and they melted him around him. Like he looked
and
awful.
they had melted Christmas lights in his skin.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah,
it
that
was
too.
awful. It was
Yeah, that
awful.
too. The Doctor Doom and Fan Four Stick was bad. Was bad.
So Doctor Doom is not gonna be in this film at all.
No, he
Um,
might show up post credit probably, and it's gonna be
Probably.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's-
Robert Downey Jr. It's gonna be
Right.
Robert Downey Jr. So
So
Man, I remember when the end credits were like, "Oh, something cool happened." Like
Yes.
with the first Iron Man, that Fury appeared. It was like, "Oh my god!"
Fury showing up saying that
And
he
then
has
The
he-
credits scene for Captain America, like the 1st
Mhm.
one, where they show
Oh,
like the
yeah.
teaser for Avengers, the first.
Mhm.
I wish I had seen that in the cinema. I don't know
Mhm.
why I hadn't
And
seen that, but it's so
I-
good.
and especially like I still think to this day my favorite one is Captain America: The First Avenger, where the final scene, it's not the post credit, but the final scene is he's in that room and they're still trying to pretend like it's the 40s, or it's the late 40s after World War II, and the storytelling in that where they're playing a recording of a baseball game,
Mhm.
and what tips him off is he's hearing the play-by-play and he's like, wait a minute, I saw this game,
I was there.
something's wrong. Yeah, and then
That
he
was
breaks out,
awesome.
and then it's modern day New York City. The black SUV
Mhm.
surround him. Nick Fury comes out and is like, we need to talk, things like that. It's very interesting.
That was when they had good storytelling and things that
Mhm.
made sense.
Yes. And AP is pointing out how Iron Man 2 had the credits for I don't think it was Iron Man fighting the Hulk.
No,
But,
it was Thor. It was
It was
Thor.
Thor. It was
Mhm.
Thor, and that
I
kind of paid off because Hulk and
don't
Thor
remember.
didn't the Hulk and Thor kind of go out at the very beginning of the
Mhm.
Avengers.
Yeah.
like
So
the very
what
first scene.
was is when Coulson drives up in
Coulson!
he
Shout out
drives
Coulson.
up in New Mexico and Thor's hammers in that crater.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So that was
Okay.
the end
Oh,
credit
I
scene for
remember.
that one.
I kind of hate how popular Coulson got, because he was a fan favorite,
Mhm.
and they did Agents of Shield, but then they just went way out of like
Yeah.
so
Okay.
weird.
Okay,
Yeah.
so sorry, Sophie, but Atomic Patriot said that he thought he Tony Stark met Ross.
Yes. That was at the end of the Hulk.
The Hulk.
The
movie.
Hulk with Edward Norton, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was at the end of the
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk, where
Mhm.
Tony Stark walks in to speak to Thunderbolt Ross.
That
That was what that was.
he's
That
pulling
was the
up.
end credit scene of Hulk.
He's starting a team. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went there to persuade him to stop, bothering
Mhm.
Hulk.
Yes.
No,
yes.
and you know what they did with, I don't know if you guys saw it, with Coulson, they did like a mini one shots, like him, like a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
That was and,
that
like,
one shot where he's fighting in the like the
with
bodega.
and everybody was like super analyzing that, because they said, "Oh, throwing the flower appeared, Captain America did it, and I don't know what issue." Like, oh my god!
Yeah.
Right, so
They
it's
read
like
way too much into it.
they were so good. Or when he's talking with the future Hydra agent, and they're like, "Shit, what are
Oh,
we gonna
yeah.
do?" That was so
Mhm.
funny. That was so well done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What happened? I knew
Yeah,
every
what
single
happened,
thing
Dave?
of these films, and I was like,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
god.
erase
You
everything.
know, Sophie, you know what happened? Disney happened.
Disney did happen, yeah, because Paramount was still producing up until Iron Man 3, or was the movie before Iron Man 3 where they were the last one? Okay. Okay. So I feel like a comment that Wayfarer made is a good way to wrap this up, because this is something that I'm curious about. Wayfarer said some theorize that what we just saw in Fantastic Four take place in the 60s, saying that it is a different universe and it will be destroyed by Galactus. So that leads into the question that I was having, which is, if the Fantastic Four are going to be a part of modern day, so current year, Marvel, and this takes place in the 60s, how is that going to work, bringing the Fantastic Four 60 years into the future to deal with modern Marvel? So that is an interesting theory, that Galactus would consume that universe, I suppose,
Oh.
and then we'll basically have alternate universe Fantastic Four.
Well,
in modern day.
I bet it'll be something like it is in the 60s, but they are already in that, like a kind of a steampunky thing, like they already have advanced technology or something like that. So it'll be
Okay,
like, oh, you
so
guys don't have this or something.
okay, so I do know this. So we know that they're going to
Notice.
they're going to be part of Secret Wars. So they will be brought into Secret Wars. So it's going to be that it's in a different
So they'll
universe.
utilize time travel to bring them
So
into the modern.
so basically, Secret Wars is going to be like Crisis on Infinite Earth, when they're bringing everything together. That's
Yeah.
where the X-Men's going to come in. That's where
Mhm.
they're going to introduce Venom to the MCU, because Venom is going to be
Right.
Spider-Man will get the black suit. In between Doom and the after Doom, it's going to be the next Spider-Man movie where he gets the symbiote, and then it goes into Battle World.
Okay.
So they're going. That's how they're going to bring him in. Now, him go destroying the galaxy, maybe. It could
That's
be.
not
It could be.
Galactus's gig, though. He destroys planets. I mean,
Yeah.
destroying a galaxy or a universe. That's
It'll
way
probably be something
They'll-
like what happened with Hulk in Thor
Mhm.
Ragnarok. Like they'll send him, like, instead of Thanos is coming, he'll say Galactus is coming.
It could be
I
something
would-
like
Like,
that.
who the fuck are you?
I would rather have Galactus be the Avenger level threat
Right.
than Kang or the
Well, we
the
know it's not gonna be
Monitor
He
or
was
the
king.
or the High Evolutionary. Galactus is the ultimate threat.
He literally
It's
consumes
Galactus.
planets.
Yes.
That is absolutely an Avengers level threat. And a third and final theory, UK Gamers pointed out. Jake, did you hear them saying the last time we went to space? So it could be something where the last time they went into space, there was some weird space time
That gave them their
theoretical physics
powers.
mumbled stuff that gave them their powers, and maybe they go to space again and they run through something that teleports them into the future. It could be something like that.
It
So-
could be also something that maybe they know how to. They'll find a way to move, and it'll be like this dilemma, this moral dilemma of, if we go, everybody we'll be leaving everybody to die here,
Mm,
and but we've got to warn the
Right.
other.
right. We have to let people know. Interesting.
And-
You know what,
and-
Sophie? I
would
really
be
like that, but I have a feeling that their writers probably aren't
That's
coming
too
up with ideas that are that
yeah.
good.
That's too selfless for the writers to even think about.
That's a
Well,
very good point.
July 22nd is when it comes out.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's gonna be right around Superman and the
Yes.
Jurassic Park movie. So
Yes, absolutely.
I want dinosaurs.
I mean, I want dinosaurs too, Sophie. I'm totally.
But why is Chris Pratt not there? So this is a reboot of that
probably.
Well,
world
that's-
again.
That's what we were discussing, which was they're calling it Jurassic World, but it doesn't look like it's continuing from the Jurassic World trilogy. It looks like it probably is a matter of it's going to be a continuation like 20-ish years after the end of the original Jurassic Park trilogy, because they reference the original island, saying that the dinosaurs there have, been left to flourish and evolve and whatnot, and they're going back there for some reason, which they didn't exactly say in the trailer. So I have a feeling they're going to kind of ignore the Jurassic World trilogy. And then I had my issue with, like, why did you call it Jurassic World? Why didn't you call it Jurassic Park something else, or come up with a different name? So I'm not,
because
not exactly
the
sure
Jurassic World island got vaporized in the second one.
Yeah,
That Brontosaurus scene was not needed.
It is what it is.
It is what
it's a cash grab, so that's all it is.
Speaking, UK Gamer pointed out it's going to be Jurassic World, and then 10 days after that, Superman, and then the Fantastic Four 10 days after that. So it's going to be, July is going to be a packed month.
Yeah, but people
anyways,
gotta decide what they're gonna watch.
I'm just gonna say this much:
true.
out of the three movies, I think Jurassic Park's going to make money.
Oh, absolutely. So before we move on to the next topic, I was sent this and I wanted to show it. Phantom, as a nice palate cleanser, you mentioned how you're a fan of Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Well, I have a little gift for you. This was sent to us courtesy of AP. You like that one?
I like that one. I like that one.
You do like that one.
Squirrels or
I think
they're groundhogs.
They're groundhogs. Yeah, they're groundhogs. And also, before we get into pop culture stuff, I think this is a good, again, palate cleanser segue. And again, courtesy of AP, he sent us something that I feel is very interesting. Carl's Jr. Now, Sophie, you probably don't know about this because you're based down in Peru. I don't think they have Carl's Jr.'s or Hardee's down there, so you might not understand this. But Phantom, you're aware of how, like back in the 2000s, they had the hot chicks on the cars eating the burgers and stuff, and they haven't done that for a long time. Well,
the male gaze.
Yes, exactly, the male gaze stuff. Well, AP just shared this with me. Apparently, Hardee's and Carl's Jr. is going to have a Super Bowl ad, and take a look.
Yeah, I saw it. It was cool.
Ooh, they're bringing back bikini-clad burger models after a years-long clapdown, and
there's a video.
USA, 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 UK.
Are we sure it's a woman?
TV. I think that's a woman.
There's
a video of that. I saw it.
Oh well, I'm gonna say.
Damn, I think I need to go back to Carl's Jr.
I'll
find it. I saw it.
Ebola is saying, well, we're gonna be. Hey, speaking of, this coming Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. We are going to be streaming the Super Bowl privately.
Oh, your Super Bowl server. That nobody but
Sophie,
you guys watch?
Shut up. You're here by our grace. Don't you dare insult our Super Bowl. This Sunday, we are going to be streaming the Super Bowl in the For the Homies Discord. No. Hey. Sophie, I didn't do that. That was Phantom. Okay, both my hands are here.
It's not even a bowl shaped.
Westward saying the world is healing. Mike saying nice. Wait for saying I want a burger right now. And UK Gamer pointing out it's a known celebrity. And again, AP, what did I do? You did wonderful things. You're not in trouble. Don't worry. But real quick, this Sunday it's going to start at 6:30, so we'll probably start at 6 in the For the Homies official Discord. We are going to be streaming the Super Bowl. If you want to come in, if you want to watch it with us, remember it's going to be private. We're not going to go live. We're not going to be publishing it. So we're going to be watching the Super Bowl in the Discord. If you would like to be a part of that, come join us there. I think you'll really like it.
Link is in the description, everybody.
Link is in the description, baby. So, Phantom, what do we have?
Wait. Highlight Wayfarer's comment. I totally agree with him.
Sophie will want that burger if Henry Cavill shirtless watching his car had it.
Jess would too. Would too.
Hey, guys would too.
Oh.
So it's a.
Thank you for that, Sophie.
Is it about time for us to talk about the Grammys?
You, yes, I think so. I think so.
So technically,
Bring it on,
this is
baby.
clown. This technically is clown of the week because of the propaganda that came out of there. But this is a new segment that we're testing. It's our music segment, and I'm handing it over to our music expert, Big Dog Jake.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, as some of you know, the Grammys happened on Sunday, and there was some good things that came out of the Grammys, and there were some
Disgusting things.
bad things that came out of the Grammys. So, I want to start with two specific things. So, first off, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga
It's Gaga.
won something, and she is Gaga crazy. And when she won, she gave her speech saying, "Trans people aren't invisible. Let's lift up the queer community." This is just 40 seconds. I want us to watch this, and we can listen to what she said. So let's do that real quick. Let's just listen to this. Is love. So I can read real quick, where it says, Lady Gaga using her platform at the Grammys to back the LGBTQ plus community, saying trans people aren't invisible and the queer community needs to be lifted up. The singer-songwriter and Bruno Mars won the Grammy for the best pop duo stroke group performance for their song Die With a Smile. And after thanking her fiance, Michael Polanski, Roman Polanski's son, Gaga used her time to defend the trans community. That they have a clip that they put here of Donald Trump talking about how he sent out a thing saying that if you're a government employee, you need to remove pronouns from your signature on your emails by end of day. So there's a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're talking about the executive order. So there's that. There's this. And I imagine that people are upset about that. Now, counter to that, there was another interesting speech that was given. Now, this wasn't an award speech. This was a red carpet interview. And it's actually quite interesting. There was this artist. There was this artist who, as you can see, is wearing a red hat that says the hat stays on. And she had this to say on the red carpet, which first off, absolutely bravo.
Let's say something as a Latina who has lived in 5 countries.
Please.
It's hold on, I said that and now my brain went blank. Never mind. Phantom, go ahead. Let me think.
Now, remember, this lady was shunned, and they tried to blacklist her because she wore a Trump dress to the Grammys in 2020.
Yes, she did.
She's a Trump supporter. And I just be glad, back in the day, I used to love watching the Grammys. Used to love watching them because they had great music, no politics.
Mm-hmm.
What artists these days would rather get up there on their soapbox and spew the most nonsensical bullshit to be the victims. Hey, can I tell you something? There was a couple of there was a couple of very important bills that was passed and Trump signed in these last couple weeks, and I'm gonna let everybody know this show we're gonna take the politics out of this show. This is probably the last thing I'll say. We had the Lincoln Riley Act.
Yeah,
and we had and then we had the one where transgender women would be women.
Yes,
well, men dressed like women out of women's sports.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
As it should be, honestly. Like,
and
that should be non-controversial for 90% of people.
Yeah.
And
honestly, it's so stupid.
And for myself, I think these people who, these people there are like the most outraged over what Trump did were the ones that were trying to be, try to help Kamala win, and that didn't work, did it? Yeah, Ebola's
No.
still crying about Kamala's
It
loss.
didn't.
But
No, it's,
go ahead, Sophie.
yeah, it's just that this whole like deportation thing. Like over here, for example, people are talking about it, right? Like, oh my god, they're taking the people out, and I'm like, guy, they broke the law. Like we have the same problem. We've got people
Yes.
being killed by illegal immigrants here
Mhm.
as well, and it's like, why is everybody like the Selena Gomez crying was stupid.
Oh God.
That was clown of
Steam-
the week. That was the clown of the week this week.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah,
put
you,
Yeah,
you
no-
gave us
Yeah.
a little bit of a spoiler there, Sophie. But yes, we'll get to
it just-
that. No, you're
but
fine.
also,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
also the protests where they were like cutting traffic, which fuck
Yes.
that.
Oh
like,
my God.
we had a strike here today. Everything was online, which I liked, but
Yeah.
it screwed people up. So that in the you guys' highways and stuff, I cannot even imagine. And they go out, and a lot of people said that, but they go out with their Mexican flag. They burn the American flag. It's like, bro, do you know the scandal they made against Argentina because Messi just slightly moved a Mexican flag, no, a Mexican shirt with his foot? They till now we get Mexicans shitting on Argentinians for that. So
Yeah.
when they burn another country's flag, like you freaking hypocrites. And also, if you support Mexico so much, go back and fix your country. Come on, like what the fuck? It just pisses me off.
Yeah. I
Also, you know how hard we had to like live and go through migrations to do things correctly to get
yes.
to live legally in these 5 countries that I had to live in.
Yeah.
Do it the right way.
Yes. Yes. And
Jesus.
Sophie, I'm going to absolutely agree with you. As you, Sophie, and you, fam, know, and some of you in the chat might know, my wife is Peruvian. She lives in Peru, similar to Sophie. Sophie lives in Peru. And we are currently, shout out to Peru, we're currently going through the process of getting Anna emigrating here to be a permanent resident as my wife in the U.S. And the legal process, the legal way to do so, it takes time, it takes money. There's a lot of paperwork and stuff you have to fill out, but that's the same for every single country. You cannot just show up to a country. Like I cannot just do this. I cannot get on a plane and show up to Peru with my passport and then just stay there and just exist there and just live there. No, there's shit you have to do. Every single country on
Rules.
the planet has rules, has an immigration process. There's some countries where it might be slightly easier. There's some countries where it might be more difficult. But everybody has to go through it. Everybody has to do it. It's not fair to the tens of thousands, if not millions of people that spend the time and money to go through this legal process to, in this example, come to the United States and then have millions, tens of millions of illegal migrants come to the U.S. And then we have something like this happen where Selena Gomez is crying like a little bitch about stuff. Totally. And let us remember, Selena Gomez, her father, her father is a German United States citizen, businessman, quite wealthy. And her mother is Hispanic, but emigrated to Germany when she and her father married, and then they both emigrated to the United States. Legal process all the way around, and she comes from an extremely wealthy household. So you guys have seen the Selena Gomez crying video. Now, let's hear what another immigrant, Joey Diaz, has to say. His mom came from Cuba
This is gold.
when he was 7 years old. This is hilarious. He says some things in here that we might, I don't think we'll get in too much trouble, but this is funny.
I gotta wake up to Selena Gomez crying. What the fuck is wrong with that little Mexican bitch? Oh my God. All the people. Why are you crying? If you like the Mexicans so much, get on the bus. Tell them
Exactly.
to pick you up. Over these bullets. You don't see me walking the last couple days. My last name is Diaz. They might make a fucking mistake, and I'm calling you Collect from Colombia. It's the fucking truth.
And ain't it the fucking truth? Ain't it the
No
truth?
lies detected. No lies detected, man. I love him,
No
man.
lies,
I saw that and I died laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good stuff.
Can you put up what Vagabundo posted? He's always
Yeah,
banned.
sure. Yeah, sure. Vagabond says that his second high school, we had a race riot because a black kid accidentally stepped on a Mexican flag. My
Guys,
goodness.
let me tell you the story about the Argentinian thing. In the World Cup, which is much bigger than your Super Bowl, all right?
I know, and I know this story as well, so you don't have to
Yeah.
demean me about it. But go
Fine,
ahead. Go
fine.
ahead.
Argentina beat Mexico. They traded shirts. The captains, they're friendly. The captain after went with his kid to meet Messi. Everybody was fine. They were in the locker room where it's a disaster. It's chaos. People are just boys
There's
in the
jerseys and
lockers.
cleats and shorts and stuff all over the place.
Yeah. So he moved the shirt with his foot just casually, so he wouldn't step on it. And it was a whole thing in Mexico. Like the boxer Canelo came out and said, "I'm gonna beat you up." Oh shit, I forgot his name. Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Tyson Fury.
Mike Tyson.
Okay.
No. Mike Tyson came out to defend Messi. He's like, "Canelo, if you beat him, I'll beat you up as well." Like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh my god, it's annoying. Also, my mom had to go through a big process to get her Peruvian ID, even when she was already married like a million years. But she had to get her marriage certificate, renew it because it had to be within like 6 months. You had to go to immigration, go to Peru, go to the Argentinian embassy, do a whole thing, and they messed up her name, so she had to redo all her documents, and she did it. She had a disability. She still went through the process. I went through the process.
Yeah. And again, just mirroring what you're saying anecdotally for me, that's something that me and my wife Anna are going through. Like when we got married up here in the U.S. and we submitted our marriage certificate to get our marriage licenses, Anna was like, what else do we have to do? I'm like, baby, that's it. We're done. We've submitted it. We are now married. However, for me and for us to get our marriage legalized in Peru, we have to go to the Peruvian consulate in the U.S. We have to show up all this paperwork. You have to have all these signatures. We're on a time limit right now. I have to go down to Peru to present myself in person with my passport, with my birth certificate. We have to go to the consulate down there.
Good luck.
Federally, it's insane. The money, the amount of paperwork, and the time that we have to spend, especially because we're on a timeline. Because this timeline will be met, but like from the date of marriage, Peru gives you 90 days for it.
Yeah,
for
and your
to go through
certificate.
the entire process to get it legalized.
I don't know if it changed
recognized
now,
there.
but now for like the certificate, again, like it had to be. No, I think it was right. It was 3 months, not 6.
Yeah, it's 90 days, and we're getting that process taken care of, because once it's
Jake,
recognized by the Peruvian
I
consulate,
recommend take absolutely every single piece of documentation that you have, even if you think it's not done, because they try to fuck you over.
Oh yeah,
and the lines. Oh my god, the lines.
Believe me, when I get down there,
early.
Anna and I are going to have everything. And when I fly down there, I'm going to have a nice little locked briefcase, and I am going to bring every possible document showing, like I said, birth certificate, social security card, passport, even my driver's license, like everything. I'm going to have everything. I am not going to let them say you don't have this one little tiny specific thing. And so you got to fly back to the U.S., get it, and then fly back down. Like, no.
Well, for example, when my grandma came here, she's Argentinian, but because we were taking care of her. But after a certain time, her like stay, how do you call it? she has to like renew her stay, right?
Right.
So
right.
what we would do would be they would fly to like Ecuador, which is near, and
Yes.
return, and then that would like
Yes.
it start. But like in her condition, it was very difficult because the reason she
Right.
was with us was because she was like forgetting things and like starts of dementia stuff. But
Oh,
like we had to do that,
Yeah.
we had to do that.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I mean, I
Do
have
things correctly.
yes. Oh, and that believe me, that is something that we're absolutely concentrating on. So we don't have a ton of time left in the show, so I'm going to cut down on things that we're going to speak about regarding this. However, one thing that I do want to get to is Mr. Kendrick Lamar sweeping 5 of 5, performing Not Like Us, and like the headline says, cementing his place as West Coast royalty. Kendrick Lamar, first off, showing up in a Canadian tuxedo, which is full denim, to accept his award, absolutely wonderful. And I think that song, that album, it was fantastic. It was one of the best rap albums of the past decade. And then he comes out with GNX a few months ago, which will be up for the Grammys next year. Another absolutely incredible rap album. Now, quickly moving over, as you guys might know, Kendrick Lamar and Drake have been beefing, although to call it a beef makes it sound like there's two sides to this, where it's been very much one-sided. Kendrick Lamar has been absolutely smoking Drake. And speaking of smoking, just 2 days after the Grammys, Drake, thinking he's a badass, which he is not, opened his tour in Australia by wearing this. Like it says, Drake wears a bullet hole-filled hoodie, releasing smoke from his back during a tour opener. Drake, I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to make it look like you took literal gunshots and the smoke, they're fresh shots, so there's smoke coming out of them, and you were able to get back up and keep walking. But dude, you're on the other side of the planet with a group of people that don't really know or don't really care about the beef that's happening with Kendrick Lamar, mainly on the West Coast in the U.S., but basically all over the U.S. This is not what you think it is. This is not the win you think it is, especially because on Sunday, 2 days before this, you were at the Grammys incognito. You didn't show up at the red carpet. You were sitting in the back during all the performances in the awards ceremony. Basically, nobody got any pictures of you. You look like a bitch, bro. You look like a little bitch. This is just, and this move, first off, wealthy white parents. You worked at Walgreens. Starting at the bottom, you started working at Walgreens. You weren't slinging crack. You weren't homeless. You didn't have a broken home. You've never been shot or shot at before. And so this type of symbolism is just absolutely just,
it's tacky. It's tacky.
It's tacky. It's tacky. It's crazy tacky. AP is absolutely correct. Drake trying to seem cool as shit. Yeah. And he would only be able to pull this off in a place like Australia, on the other side of the planet, where people aren't either aware or don't care of what's going on here in the U.S. And AP saying he's been shot at more than Drake. Bro, same. I've been shot at more than Drake, for crying out loud. Oh, my sweet goodness. It's just, it's nuts.
Retarded.
But
It's retarded.
I mean, all out to Kendrick Lamar. Props to Kendrick Lamar for sweeping. Drake, you're a pussy. And real quick, we can do some clown of the week stuff. And we have one specific clown right here with a very twisty-turny story. And this is Mr. P. Diddler himself, Sean Combs. As it says here, he was taken from prison to the hospital late at night. And I just want to read these little bits right here. It says, Sean Combs, who's awaiting his sex trafficking trial behind bars, was taken from a Brooklyn prison to a nearby hospital late Thursday night. A law enforcement source told the Post that the music was transported from the Metropolitan Detention Center to the Brooklyn Hospital around 10 p.m. It says the transport was made after dark in order to be inconspicuous, as they did not want to attract attention from other inmates and staffers, and apparently he went to get an MRI. Now, it goes on to say that He says the rapper's knee was bothering him and he wanted to get it checked out. However, he was not overnight at the hospital. He came back to his cell in a few hours. But then there's a source that was speculating that he had been involved in a prison fight or had some other emergency. However, they say that is not the case. And of course, someone for the Bureau of Prisons says for privacy and safety and security reasons, we do not comment on the conditions of confinement for anyone in our custody, to include medical status or medical trips. Now, he has had medical issues. Apparently, he has a long history of knee problems. In 2020, he had his 4th knee surgery in 2 years. At the time, he said, it's always been like that. This is my 4th surgery in 2 years. He's had 2 rotator cuffs, a knee replacement, and now it's on his quad. And he concluded by saying, at the end of the day, this is God's work to slow me down. You know what? I'm glad God is slowing you down, Diddy. I'm freaking glad. And to cap this off, for those of you that don't know, because Diddy is on federal charges, he is temporarily at the Brooklyn Detention Center, which is a state prison. He is being transported to a federal prison. Funnily enough, that's going to be in D.C., and you guys watching might love this. The prison that he is being transported to soon, in the next couple of weeks, is the same prison that a certain island owner unalived himself in.
Allegedly.
So Diddy's I won't say final, but for an indeterminate amount of time will be resting at the same prison that a certain sex trafficker was when he unalived himself and the guards weren't around and the cameras weren't on, etc. and so forth. AP giving the game away, yes, it's the same prison that Jeffrey Epstein was at. So in the next few weeks, he will be transported from a state penitentiary to a federal penitentiary in D.C., the same one where Epstein was held. And good night to you, UK gamer. So our clown of the week, we had to whip through real fast. But Mr. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, you are going to get the book thrown at you, brother. And you better pray that God starts working real fast for you, because you're about to be in an environment where I don't know.
Dude, we talked about this the other night, and I'm like, what are the odds he gets put on the same floor in the same cell?
Yeah.
Speaking of clown of the week, did you see that Michael Jordan's son got arrested?
I did not. No, I did not.
I saw a video today. He was like what is it? DUI?
A DUI, driving under the influence. Yeah, he was drinking or he was high.
Yeah, but his car was stuck on the train tracks, and it all starts very civil, and then we're like, okay, we gotta take him. He's like, I'm Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. They used that video. They used that. Who didn't see it? Oh, I think it was Officer Tatum.
Officer Tatum somebody who's well known? What do you mean by that?
Or it wasn't that. Hold on. Keep talking.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. Phantom, opinions on the Grammy stuff, Kendrick, Drake, the P. Diddy stuff.
Well, so I'm real happy for Kendrick Lamar. I mean, we literally in Discord, me and you and Crease, we watched the premiere of They're Not Like Us, and we jammed to that.
We watched the music video together when he threw together that concert in LA where he performed Not Like Us 5 times in a row. We all watched that live. That was fantastic.
So you recommend that? I'll listen.
Oh yeah. Even if you're not really a fan of rap, Not Like
Us,
the song in the music video. It's
I mean, I like the idea of rap. Like, I like the medium, but like majority of songs are all about, like, you know what. So it's like,
sex, drugs. Yeah,
I understand what you're saying. I got
Now,
you.
so one of the things we didn't talk about in there was Alicia Keys had the most fucking retarded speech
Oh yeah.
herself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she did.
Beyonce winning Best Country Album,
Which that I was trying to
That's
move quickly through
stupid.
stuff, but Beyonce for Cowboy Carter winning Best Country Album. First off, there's only one song on that album that could be considered country, and it's barely country. The rest of the songs were just pop, and she was up against like legit country artists like Chris Stapleton,
Mm-hmm.
who is a fantastic. I don't like country, but I can recognize it. Chris Stapleton had a fantastic country album, and his songs were amazing in that. And the fact that Beyonce won Best Country Album with a single country song that was barely country,
It's all rigged.
of course it's all rigged. And I know that because of a few months ago when she was at the Country Music Awards and she didn't win, she felt real butthurt about that. Like,
Oh, poor
that's
baby.
just dumb. That's dumb. And AP, yeah, 100% rigged. 100% rigged. Night Saver saying rigged. And AP feeling the same way as Sophie. Props to Kendrick. I ain't a huge rap fan, but props. Yes. Props to Kendrick. Kendrick Lamar, since I first heard about him in 2013 when he did a verse on a Tech Nine track, Fragile, which was very good. But he came on the scene in 2009, I believe. And also in 2017, when Humble came out, or when Damn came out, Humble won Best Song, Damn won Best Album. It's Kendrick Lamar was the first person to win Album of the Year as a rapper. It was the first ever rap album to win Album of the Year. And that album also won a literature award. Not only the first rap album, but the first ever musical album to win that Mark Twain Literature Award, which is wild. It's crazy. Vagabond coming in saying that I listened to country, but the Beyonce album was trash. Yes, it was. It was absolutely trash.
And we'll be hearing Not Like Us at the halftime show at the Super Bowl this year.
We will. There was some stuff a couple months ago. It came out that the NFL asked Kendrick not to perform Not Like Us, and I imagine his team was like, unless
Fuck
you're like
you.
forcing me not to, in which case I would just not perform the show. I'm performing it, and so we just got the news yesterday that he is going to. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, because he swept the Grammys. That's the reason why they're allowing him to do it.
And performed it at the Grammys. And Drake knew that was coming. That's why he was incognito, sitting in the back with his face covered, dressed all weird, and having makeup on. Like that one year where The Weeknd showed up looking like he'd just been in a freaking bar brawl. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So I think it's time for recommendations.
Yeah. Let's start to wrap this up. Sophie, you don't have to have a recommendation. I know you came in here late, but if you have something you want to recommend, go ahead and cue that up. Phantom, why don't we start with you? What do you have to recommend?
Okay, so for Black History Month, I'm going to recommend probably one of the best and greatest black movies of all time, Blazing Saddles. There we go.
Where the white women at?
Yes.
I still need to watch that.
Oh, Sophie, you haven't watched Blazing Saddles? My goodness.
Nope.
And I'm gonna go ahead and do my intro while I'm doing this too. So, Saturday night KSW, we're gonna be doing black people in anime. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna do it.
We need
also
parameters.
We'll be here
Yeah, settle that
next.
ahead of time.
We'll be back here next Thursday night for the Homies podcast. Jake, what you got recommend?
Well,
What do you mean,
for me,
Goomba?
guys, because of Kendrick sweeping the Grammys, 5 of 5 for all of his categories: best rap song, best rap album, best performance, best music video. My recommendation, excuse me, my recommendation this week is going to be probably a Grammy winner next year. It is going to be the album GNX. That's the album cover. For those of you that don't know, GNX stands for Grand National Experimental. It's a Buick 1987 Buick car that's based off of a relatively simple Buick Grand National, which would just be like a typical sedan. And then Buick did something crazy, especially for the 80s. They came out with the GNX. They only made about, I think, 800 of them, and they're all black. And they have the Grand National logo, but with this nice red X, which you can kind of see in the bottom left-hand corner. So for my album this week, my recommendation is going to be Kendrick Lamar's GNX. If I had to pick a song that you should listen to TV Off. It's just called TV space Off. It's a great song. It's got a lot of callbacks to previous songs that he's written. It's got a callback to Not Like Us, which happens about in the middle of the song, throwing some mustard on the beat, if you know what I'm saying. So everybody go ahead and give 2024's GNX by Kendrick Lamar a listen. I think you guys will enjoy it. Sophie, if you have a recommendation, go ahead and let us know. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, since we're doing songs and rap, I will recommend, and I have it there, a VTuber called Calliope Mori. She sings and she raps, and it's pretty cool. She's a cool rapper.
Her name is Mori Calliope?
Mori Calliope, yeah. Especially this one that's called Rip. It's really cool.
Very nice. Very nice. Everybody check that out. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone a little bit over time. Before we do our outros, I want to say, Sophie, I appreciate you coming in on the back end, staying with us for the past hour, offering your commentary, offering your thoughts, and keeping us company as well. As Phantom said at the beginning of the show, because Kreese was traveling to MegaCon, our DEI,
he went to get some milk.
He went to get some milk and cigarettes. We'll see if he comes back next week. But we lost our DEI hires, so to have a Latina come in helps balance it out, having two white guys here. So, Sophie, why don't you shout out the things that you have and what you have coming up?
Well, I was really sick for a bit, so I didn't make any videos or anything. I'm trying to get back to that routine.
Okay.
But January and February for me are hell because we get 1 million courses.
Right.
But more courses mean more money, so yeah.
That's right. Absolutely.
So I'm just going little by little, getting back into the grind, trying to find the story for my videos. And that's it.
Right on. And are you
Chronicling
still doing,
Mayhem?
Are you still doing? Yes. Follow Chronicling Mayhem on YouTube. You're still doing Killing Saturdays with Anime?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like that is a good segue into you, Phantom. You're on KSW. Let's do your outro.
Yeah, so KSW Saturday night, we're going to be doing Black characters and anime, and be back here next week for another episode of For the Homies podcast. And come join us Sunday. We're going to be watching the Super Bowl in the For the Homies Discord. We're also here in the next couple of weeks. We're going to start doing anime watch parties in the For the Homies podcast Discord.
Absolutely.
Via the KSW chat.
Yes.
Also, if you guys are down at MegaCon and you see Liquid Ebola, go up and say,
"Enjoy swimming."
But you gotta film it.
You do have to film it.
Pixar didn't happen.
And don't forget, Ebola and Kreese are representing For the Homies at MegaCon this year.
That's right.
And also held to the GCA members down there, our brothers and sisters that are down there this weekend. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful time What you got going on, Jake?
It's absolutely shouts out to you guys. Now, you guys can see my links. My links are here. They're also down in the description. But since Crease isn't here, I'm going to put his up on the screen. Make sure you check that out. Myself, as you guys know, my name is Jake. I go by Big Dog Jake, BIGGDOGGJAKE. I'm a professional, though occasional voiceover actor stroke artist. I'm a political writer. I love video games, and I love metal music, and I love rap music also. And I will talk to anyone about them. What I do is I do this. I do the official For the Homies podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Thursday. And I'm a busy man. I have a lot of things going on recently, married, dealing with immigration, things of that nature. However,
doing it the right way.
Yes, doing it the right way, doing it the legal way to make sure that nobody can F us over in the future. And as much as you might dislike it, hot take, pay your taxes. I know, I hate them too, but pay your taxes. And that's basically what I've been doing. Just the other night, I was on my friend's stream. I popped in to speak with him for a little while. I'm starting to have a little bit more, not free time, but a little more time where I'm feeling better about things. I've been having some medical issues along with being very busy with getting married and immigration and stuff. That's prevented me from being dedicated to streaming. However, I made a decision when I came back from my honeymoon that I just have to hop back in the saddle and just have to get into that. So you might start seeing me on Monday nights and Wednesday nights on certain channels. If I get back into that, I will let you guys know. As you might know, I was on the first 20-ish episodes of Off the Hip before I backed away from that. I might get to a point where I can dedicate the time to get back into that. ABF has said that the seat is open and it's warm for me in case everyone to hop back in. And last night, Phantom and I were on the Pre-Late Gay show on ABF's channel. And who knows, maybe I might end up being a part of that. We'll see. But otherwise, I'm here. And we are here Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the official For the Homies podcast. Make sure you follow us on our Facebook page. If you still have a Facebook, make sure you follow us on X, and make sure you join the Discord. Remember, this coming Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have a Super Bowl watch party. I'm going to be drinking. I'm going to be eating. I'm sure others will be drinking. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I really, really, really hope you join us there. We'd love to see you.
Go Eagles!
Go Eagles.
Eagles!
E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles. Got to shout out the Eagles. I'm from Northern Delaware, so South Philly is my home. Eagles are my team. The Flyers are my team. The Sixers are my team. I love Philadelphia teams. Sophie, again, thank you so very much for joining us on the Back 50. Phantom, glad to have another week doing this show. Send us home, baby.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in. We will see you next Thursday night for the Homies podcast. We will see you Sunday for the official Super Bowl watch party in the For the Homies Discord. Until next time, I'm Phantom X. He's Big Dog Jake. That's little old Sophie down there.
Woo-hoo.
And we will see you guys next Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. We're out, baby. It's all gravy. And Crease and Ebola, everybody down in MegaCon, have a great evening.
Like the stream, nerds.
Ow! Like the stream, nerds.
Get me something.
We talking about the life we know. Lasting vibes, the good times flow. Homies gather, let the stories grow. Screaming loud, let the wisdom show. Late nights, we ain't slowing down. Mic in hand, we own this town. From the heart, every word profound. For the homies, let that love resound. Tune in, man, it's time to roll. Jokes and tales will steal the show. For the homies, we'll